favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, he already lived. It was written in the children's story. Their life's a so what you want. Every day I struggle with it. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the Genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Come on, let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Good.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this one is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. It's the fullback. His second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point through the Snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs. And
confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw now on second and 10. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it.
Right,
and he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Leopard! Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And he's got his target. That's more. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rose. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. The extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Yeah, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago. And another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely, he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And taken right at the 35. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Caught the tight end Walford. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. In this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
They'll look to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, he really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He's got this one complete to Fountain. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Now back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
The Texans on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. They'll drop to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Black. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to go up top. Oh, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver, that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. But they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And now out comes Houston. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Now they'll run on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a third down.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Looking to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to throw here. Flush to his right. Now he's going to send this one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Oh, leaping, and he makes the grab. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Lucky 56. Gone.
They're going to look to throw. That is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
319.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And they'll run it here. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them. And they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called not so much just to, to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. Now the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Flex round! Flex round!
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's second down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. And able to work his way down to the 16. They get 8 yards back there, and they could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Texans get a bit closer. Here's a toss coming right, and he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief, that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun! 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 Hot! Hot!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. It's Rose. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Patriot! Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
Now a play fake here on first down. Left side, it's Dorsett. Open space inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Philip Dorsett, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two.
Flex round! Flex round!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete here. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You go into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Going back to Moore. This time he's got him complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rose. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Let's go! White 90! White 90!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He'll drop to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.